properly. Yep. Hello, good morning, or whenever you're watching this. Hello. Susan will be starting class in a few minutes at the top of the hour. You can get your mat set out and get ready. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. You don't need anything special for this class, just your space. I have a space of about 2 feet by 6 feet. That's plenty of space for practice. Welcome to Comeback Yoga. It's a level 2 class. We'll be practicing together for 50 minutes. And you just need a space of about um, 2 feet by 6 feet. Space of a mat. You don't have to use a mat if you don't want to. This is a pretty typical class. We'll warm up. We'll do some balancing and strength work. We'll be doing some flexibility work. Then we'll be uh, cooling down, resting a little bit, and then we'll be done. Comeback Yoga is an organization that offers um, yoga and meditation classes to people who have a military background. And there is research that supports the idea, supports the theory that yoga helps reduce stress levels in your body. And um, that is a um, excellent way to an excellent way to help maintain resilience and to help you deal with all of the things that happen in your life. That's what we experience as yoga teachers and yoga practitioners. And um, we offer these classes with the idea that they will help other people too. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to our website, comebackyoga.org, and find out about past and the things that we have available. And you can, I think those, our website links to some research that you can look at and videos. And we're on PBS, we're in person. There are lots of different ways to find a class if you want to try it out and see how it works for you. Let's start seated. You can sit any way you want to. I happen to be sitting like this, and this is a comfortable way for me to sit. That's why I'm sitting like this. You can find your own comfortable way to sit. You can interlace your fingers and put your thumbs together and hold space in between your arms for your body. Move your head around a little bit. You can drop your chin down towards your chest and lift your head and tilt your right ear toward your right shoulder. Lift your head and tilt your left ear toward your left shoulder. Lift your head and rotate your nose over towards the right. Point your nose forward and rotate your nose over towards the left. Point your nose forward, take soft inhales and exhales, and connect to your awareness to your breath, your inhales and your exhales, and the pauses in between. After you've done that for a little while, you can start to bring your arms forward. Inhale to open your arms out wide and lift your rib cage and lift your gaze. And exhale and curl. Bring your hands out in front of you, up your chin, and curl your spine. Inhale to open up, and exhale to curl and close. We'll do one more. Inhale to open up, exhale to curl and close. Inhale to stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, put your hands on the floor, tuck your chin, look down. Inhale to reach up, put your hands together. Exhale and bring your hands down right in front of your sternum. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, tuck your chin, look down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, thumbs in front of your sternum. Putting your hands on the tops of your legs and draw a couple circles with your torso around. And draw a couple circles with your torso around the other way. Take both hands to the outside of your left leg. Turn and look. Take both hands to the outside of your right leg. Turn and look. Keep your left hand on your right leg. Take your right arm up and over. Put your right hand on your left leg and bring your left arm up and over. Bring yourself in a table position, hands and knees on the floor, and we'll move through cat and cow, lifting and lowering um, your rib cage, angling your rib cage, and moving through your pelvis. Walk your hands forward a little bit, bring your left knee forward a little bit, and stretch your right leg long back behind you. Both knees down, walk back. Walk your hands forward a little bit, your right knee forward a little bit, your left leg goes long. Both knees down, both knees back. Stretch your hips back toward your heels, the arms outstretched out in front of you. Your forehead could come down towards the floor. Lifting your head and leaning forward in the upward facing dog. Bring your forearms down onto the floor, interlace your fingers, and straighten your legs into dolphin pose. Breathe in your dolphin. You can move your head around a little. Please come to the floor. Lift yourself into kneeling, sweeping your arms out and up and overhead. Exhale, pull your hands down, center line of your body, sit your hips back toward your heels. Inhale to reach up, coming into kneeling, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down, hands together in front of you. Shifting weight onto your right knee, step your left leg long out to the side. I'm on my mat because I've turned, but your foot might be off your mat. You can roll on your heel, letting your pinky toe come towards the floor, and then letting your big toe come towards the floor, and then letting your toes pointing up towards the ceiling, taking your arms out to T. Inhale, exhale, and tilt into crossbar pose. Your left hand glides down the length of your left leg, your right arm reaches up and over. Lift your torso, wrap your right arm underneath your left, come into eagle arms, unwrapping your arms and coming into cow face arms, right arm overhead and behind, your left arm underneath and behind, and your hands might approach each other behind you on your back. Unwrapping your arms, gather in, both knees in. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, hips back toward your heels. Sit back. Inhale to reach up. Come up to kneeling. Exhale your arms down, shifting weight onto your left knee. Your right leg sticks out to the side. You're on your right heel, and your big toe comes down towards the floor, and your toes point up, and your pinky toe comes down towards the floor, and your toes point up, and you can end up with your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, gliding your arms out to T, reaching overhead, and exhaling, coming into a crossbar pose. Your right arm comes to the inside of your right leg, and your left arm stretches up and over. And lifting, left arm underneath right, wrapping your arms in eagle, unwrapping your arms, right arm behind and up, left arm overhead and down. Cow face arms, unwrapping your arms, gathering in, bringing your legs back together, hands together. You're in kneeling pose, kind of towards the back of your mat. Inhaling to reach up, exhaling, arms out, hinge forward. Your arms come back behind you alongside of your body. Forehead approaches the floor. Roll to seated. Slide yourself down along the length of your mat, lowering down onto your stomach. Bend your right knee up towards your hip and reach your right hand back towards your foot. They might connect, they don't have to. Let go. Put your hands on either side of your rib cage. Lift into low cobra and lower down. And your left knee bends, your left foot and your left hand come towards each other. And letting go if they were connected. Your left hand comes back next to your left side of your chest, pressing softly into the floor, gently lifting your upper body and lowering down. And both legs bend, both hands reach back towards your feet. And just connect them. If they do, releasing your legs, hands on either side of your chest, lifting your torso and lowering down. Taking both arms out in front of you, pressing your fingertips into the floor, lifting your rib cage, pointing your toes, floating your legs, and then lowering down. Keep your left arm overhead and roll over onto your left side. Press out through your legs. Give yourself a long line from your head, through your rib cage, through your hips, through your knees, through your ankles. Take your top arm into the air and try to take your top leg into the air and balance. If you want to really get a lot of balance, try taking your bottom leg away from the floor as well. And lowering everything down, roll back onto your stomach. Prop yourself up onto your forearms, interlace your fingers, cross your ankles, press down, and float yourself into a forearm plank. And your forearms and your knees. Lowering your hips down, uncrossing, and start to stretch your arms way out. Okay. Coming up onto your fingertips, lifting your rib cage, point your toes, and lift your legs. And lower down, taking your hands on either side of your rib cage, lifting your rib cage, and lowering. Bending your left knee, reaching your left hand back towards your foot. Maybe they connect. If they do, you can gently encourage your heel to come a little closer towards your hip, just with the weight of your arm, that's all. And letting go. Hands on either side of your rib cage, floating your rib cage a little bit. Point your toes, float your legs a little bit. And lowering down. Bending your right knee, reaching your right hand back towards your right foot. Maybe they connect. If they do, you can let the weight of your right arm to just encourage your right heel to come a little closer towards your right hip. And letting go. Taking your hands either side of your rib cage, floating your rib cage a little bit, floating your legs a little bit. Try floating your hands a little bit. And lowering down, bending both of your legs, both of your knees, perhaps holding on to both of your feet, lifting your rib cage, maybe lifting your thighs, breathing. And releasing down, stretching your right arm way overhead, rolling over onto your side, straightening your leg, straightening your top arm up towards the ceiling, and taking your top leg maybe into the air, and maybe your bottom leg into the air as well if you want to really test your balance. And rolling back onto your stomach, propping yourself up onto your forearms, crossing one ankle over the other, pressing down and floating, forearms and your hips floating above the floor. Your hips come down, uncross your legs, and start to walk your knees forward. Curl your legs underneath your body. Gently and slowly allow your hips to move back toward your heels. Curl over your legs and allow your forehead to approach the floor. Lifting your head and walking your hands back toward your legs. You're sitting, rolling through your shoulders, up and back and down. And taking your hands to the floor, tucking your toes under. Float yourself into squat pose. Your hands could be on the floor or hands could be on the inside. Um, your hands could be together. pointing up towards the ceiling. However, you've uh, formed your squat, you can straighten your legs, come into forward fold towards the back of your mat. Walking your hands up your legs, all the way up to standing. You're looking down towards the top of your mat. You can see the expanse of your mat. Put your hands together and breathe softly, just like we did at the beginning of class. Notice your inhales and your exhales. This pause, this time for contemplation, you're noticing your body, noticing your senses, noticing the space around you. Look at your space of your mat and start to move forward onto your mat, stepping forward onto your right foot. Your right arm reaches forward, your left arm reaches back, you're on your left toe. Bend your left knee and pick up your left foot and come into dancer pose. Your left thigh moves back a little bit. Breathing, releasing, stepping forward onto your left foot. Your left arm reaches forward. Your right heel comes up. Picking up your right foot, holding on to your right foot with your right hand. Moving your right thigh back, lengthening the front side of your body. Breathing steadily. Letting go and stepping forward to the top of your mat. You can take a couple extra steps. If that's what it takes to get up to the top of your mat, take as many steps as you want. Inhaling to reach up to the ceiling. Exhaling, bring your arms out to the walls and hinging forward into half forward fold. Your hands are on the tops of your legs and your torso is parallel to the floor. Bend your knees a little. Take your right fingertips down towards the floor. Your left hand comes to your left hip. Switch sides. Your left hand comes down towards the floor. Fingertips, right hand to your right hip. Rotate a little bit. Hands to the tops of your legs. Bend your knees and come up to standing. Shifting weight onto your right foot. Your left foot steps back. We're in warrior one pose. Your front knee is bent over your front ankle. You can practice a little bit bending and straightening. When you bend, your body weight moves forward, settle into your legs, settle into your feet. Take both arms overhead, reaching up. Exhaling, bring your elbows out to cactus. Your left leg's back. Let's take your left arm underneath, right, wrapping arms around each other. Eagle arms, unwrapping your arms and finding cow face arms, left arm overhead, right arm back, behind. Your hands might come towards each other. Unwrapping your arms. Take your left arm underneath your right arm again. Wrap your arms around each other. And we're stepping forward into eagle pose. Your back leg's going to float forward. And you can take as many steps as you want to. But if you take one step, you can take one step forward. Let's see how this goes. Step one step forward. Yep. And then cross your left leg over your right leg and sit down. So I took two steps. That's okay. You're sitting down in your eagle pose. Your gaze is steady and forward. Breathe. It might be a little wobbly. That's okay too. You're wrapping your left side around your right side. Then unwrap your arms. Step down. Inhale to reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, arms out to the walls and hinge forward. You're in half forward fold. Your hands are on the tops of your legs. Your torso is long. Bend your knees a little. Take your right fingertips down towards the floor. Your left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Switch sides. Left fingertips reach down towards the floor, and your right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Both hands down towards the floor. Walk your hands up towards your legs and stand up tall. Now you're shifting weight onto your left foot, and your right foot steps back. You can practice a little bit, bending into your front knee, straightening your front leg, giving yourself a little extra awareness of your body sinking down, weight sinking down into your legs. That's your foundation. Take both arms and reach both arms up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet, more or less. Take your right arm underneath your left, wrap your arms around each other, and wrap your right arm over and behind, the left arm around and behind. Hands approach each other. Unwrap your arms. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Your back leg. Let's see how many steps we take. Your back leg floats forward and comes over your front leg into eagle. Take as many steps as you like. There we go. And cross. Hook your right leg over your left leg and sit down. You sit down as deeply as you like. Breathe into your eagle pose. Wrapping your right side around your left side. And then unwrap. Sweep your arms overhead, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms out to the walls. Hinge forward. Once more, let's find the half forward fold. Your hands are in the fronts of your legs, your torso's long. You've got a long line from your tailbone through your back of your rib cage, through the back of your head, through the crown of your head. Take your hands down towards the floor. You can step back to a plank position. You can do any plank you want to. There's lots of different ways to do plank. You might have one knee down. You might have both knees down. Maybe you're on your fists. Maybe you're on your forearms. You could be on your toes. There's lots of different ways to do plank. Once you've had a few breaths in your plank position, then move into downward facing dog. And there are lots of downward facing dog positions too. You could be on your shins. You could be on your hands and your feet. You could be on your forearms. Take 3 full inhales and exhales in your downward facing dog. You can move your head around. You could pedal your feet. And walk your feet towards each other. Mm. Sweep your right leg long back behind you. Curl your right knee underneath you and step your right foot forward in between your hands. Your back heel comes down, and we're lifting into side facing warrior, turning a little bit open to the side, and catty corner to this front corner of your mat. And you're extending your arms from your center out through your fingertips, center up through the crown of your head, center down through your feet. Maybe you haven't thought about where your center is. Maybe you just feel it, or maybe you want to consider that for a little bit. Maybe you're thinking of your center as your heart, or your center as your belly, or maybe you think of your center as your pelvis, wherever you're thinking of. Just like taking that and extending out in all directions, and then breathe. Breathe deeply from your belly. Extend through your fingertips. Sink a little bit deeper into your posture. You can bend your front knee a little bit more. You can keep your back leg a little bit longer. That edge of your back foot helps lift your arch a little bit, which helps engage your inner legs, your inner thighs. Take your left arm down towards your left leg, and your right arm curls beautifully overhead. Now you've got a long line from your right hip up through your right shoulder. Your arms just extra. Stretch and lengthen. You can bring your gaze up towards your top hand. You have your gaze naturally where your head feels natural. You could turn your gaze down towards your back foot. Lift out of your reverse warrior and take both hands and push forward, Rotate on your back heel. Your back heel dials up. And we'll try a step forward. See how we do. One step forward, maybe, and into the one-legged balance. So stepping forward and float your back leg forward. Yeah. Step together. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, part your arms. Put your hands on the floor and step back to your plank position again. Step back to any plank you want. You can do, so even a side plank, turning. If you'd rather do a side plank, you can do one like that. You don't always have to do the hardest plank that you can do, but maybe that's what you want to do in your practice. That's fine. Breathe into your body and notice how your plank is working in your body, what kinds of sensations you're getting. Bring your knees down if they're not already down. Walk your hands forward, lean into upward facing dog, and pull back into downward facing dog. Walking your feet towards each other. Your left leg stretches back, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee and step your left foot forward in between your hands. Your back heel comes down and you're lifting into warrior two. It's a side facing warrior. Sometimes people really crank their hips to go to the side. You don't have to do that. You can just let your hips be kind of however they are. Your toes, front toes point more or less forward, and your back toes point more or less kind of to the side or forward. And just finding the best place for your hips and your stability and your strength. And then extend. Again, consider where your center is and take your arms out and extend from your center through your fingertips, center through the crown of your head, center down through your feet, and breathe. Breathe into your posture and keep refining your posture. Refining your posture might mean that you're moving deeper into your legs, or it might mean that you're pulling back a little bit because that's a thing that you're noticing you want to do in your body. You're giving yourself time to stretch out in your warrior two, lengthening all throughout your body, expanding, contracting with your breath. Extend it out through your fingertips. And then reverse your warrior. Your right arm drifts down and comes on the top of your right leg. It's your left. And your left arm comes up and over. And now your left side from your left hip through your left shoulder. You're stretching, lengthening, breathing. Your gaze can be up towards your hand. Your gaze can be just natural wherever your head happens to feel naturally pointing, or you can turn your gaze down towards your back foot. You're continuing to refine your posture. Front knees over your front ankle. Breathe. Lift your torso. Okay, pushing forward, your back heel dials up. Let's see if we can take one step forward and float back leg forward. Interesting. Into one-legged balance and step together. Nice job. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, arms out, hinge forward, hands on the floor. Let's step back to one more plank. This time, let's all do a side plank. So you're here in your regular plank, facing forward, down towards the floor. Move your heels over to one side. Walk your hand underneath your shoulder and turn and look. And do the other side, finding your plank, your belly down. Your heels come over, one hand on the floor, and turn. And face down towards the floor. One more plank facing down. And tuck your legs underneath you. Curl your legs underneath your body. Let your torso fold over your legs. Your forehead or the top of your head might come down towards the floor. Your arms are stretching back. Backs of your wrists resting lightly. And breathe. Hands from the tops of your legs and bring yourself up. Roll through your shoulders, up and back and down. Bring your hands up towards the top of your mat and lean, upward facing dog. Pull your hips back, cross your legs underneath you. Let's come into boat pose and make sure you've got space behind you because sometimes you can roll back and roll back onto your back in boat pose. That happens. You cross your ankles to give yourself a little more oomph. Bring your arms forward. You bring your arms a little bit higher overhead. I find that very challenging. Maybe you want a little more challenge. Turn your palms towards each other. You can straighten your legs. And bring the soles of your feet together. Wiggle back a little bit and hinge forward into bound angle pose. I like to hold on to my feet, but maybe you'd like to hold on to your knee. Um, my knees kind of naturally come down towards the floor. That's not because of any work that I've done over time. That's how my body's made. So if you're noticing that your knees don't come down towards the floor, that's fine. Um, maybe your knees don't do that. Um, you can allow yourself to find your own way here in your pose and you're hinging just as far forward as you feel stretch. Lift your torso and stick your right leg long in front of you. Your left knee bends out to the side. Turn and rotate your right hand over towards your left knee, and you can turn and look behind you. Keep your right hand on your left knee. Your left arm stretches up and over. You can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Have your head wherever it comes naturally, or turn your gaze down towards your extended right foot. Lift your torso, put your left hand back behind you, your right arm reaches up and back. Reverse your stretch. And switch legs. Your left leg's long out in front of you. Your right knee bends out to the side. Your left hand comes cross over towards your right knee. Your right arm comes around behind you and you rotate. Now, I'm keeping my left sit bone planted down into the floor. But if you feel like you want a little extra release, you can always lift your left sit bone, especially if you feel like you want to turn a little more and you want to give your back a little more softness as you turn. And settle your left sit bone down. If it was up, keep your left hand on your right knee. Your right arm reaches up and over, and we're in a side stretch. What's important is not your arm, but your space between your right hip and your right shoulder. You're focusing on breathing and stretching through that area. And putting your right hand down for support. Your left arm stretches up and back. And then you get more into the left side of your body. The complementary stretch. Stick both legs out in front of you and move through your knees, roll through your feet. Those of you who really, really love forward folds can sit back, inhale to reach up, and exhale and put your body right on top of your legs and wrap your hands around the bottoms of your feet and really Give yourself a big deep forward fold. And those of you who maybe like me do not so much love forward folds, you can stay sitting tall. You could put your hands on the tops of your shoulders. You could put your arms down by your sides, either palms down or palms up. I like palms up, help stretch out my wrist. If you're leaning forward, you can walk your hands up your legs to sit up tall. Then hook your thumbs and roll yourself down onto your back. Once you get onto your back, you can stretch your arms overhead and lengthen a lot. And put the soles of your feet together, knees pointing out to the sides. Put your hands on the top of your stomach and rock on your head a little from one ear to the other ear. Assist your knees towards each other. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and flap your right knee forward and back. Gather up your legs and we're in pigeon. Uncrossing. Put your legs back down on the floor. Soles of your feet together. Knees wing out to the sides. Hands on your stomach. Rock your head left and right. Putting your feet back onto the floor. Crossing your left ankle over your right knee and flapping your left knee forward and back. And gathering up your legs, coming into pigeon, rocking from side to side. So there are lots of ways to do pigeon. You can do pigeon in lying on your back, facing down towards the floor. You can do pigeon standing up or sitting up. If you want a different variation of pigeon, you're welcome to do any variation that you want. Placing your right foot down, uncrossing your left leg, soles of your feet together, knees pointing out, left and right. And assist your legs back towards each other. Bring your right knee in toward your chest, interlacing your fingers behind your right leg. Stretch your left leg long. Switching sides, right leg goes long, your left knee bends, interlacing your fingers behind your left leg. Bringing both knees in toward your chest, holding on and rocking around. Now you can hold on to your feet and turn the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby pose. This is optional because maybe you don't like to do that. You can hold on to your legs like this with your feet flopping down. You can hold on to your big toes. You can hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Sometimes people like to kick around in happy baby, and sometimes they like to keep their legs really still. So those are also options that you have. Once you feel done with your happy baby, you can bring your feet back down onto the floor and straighten your leg and bring your arms long down by your side and take a soft inhale and squeeze up your feet and then exhale and release your feet. Take a soft inhale and squeeze up your feet and your calves and your shins and maybe your knees a little bit. Exhale and release knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Soft inhale and squeeze up your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet. Exhale and release. Soft inhale and squeeze up your belly, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. Exhale and release. Soft inhale, squeeze up your chest, your back, your belly, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. Exhale and release. Soft inhale, squeeze up your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your chest, your belly, your back, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. Squeeze and exhale and release. Soft inhale and squeeze up, tense up your face, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your chest, your belly, your back, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet. Squeeze and tense and squeeze and exhale and release. Notice your whole body. Notice if you don't like laying on your back, if you way, you can move your legs around, you can roll on your side, you can move to your sofa, you can stick your legs to the wall, you can do anything you want to. You can sit up to that bed. If you practice eye rest, you know what that is, then you can start working with your inner resource and um, experiencing and just finding a memory or an idea of a place where you feel comfortable and where you feel secure. And it's a physical place, might be the place that you're in right now, or it could be a memory of like a childhood vacation. It could be a place where you just really like um, the forest, or you could be on the beach, any place that you feel really comfortable. And get yourself situated, get yourself comfortable in your body, and go to this place. And once you're in this place, once you have the idea of this place, you're going to richly populate it with lots of details. So, what does it smell like? Is there food? What does it taste like? Um, what's the temperature of the air? Is it day or night? Uh, what are the textures? Are you sitting in a chair or are you sitting on the grass? Is there sun? Are you inside, outside? All those details that you can create, that you just bring in as many details as you can, make it really real, all your sensory details. And then also, are there other people there with you, or animals, or other um, other things that you might want in a place that you felt really secure and really comfortable. And you'll live in that space a little bit. It's your inner resource. It's uniquely yours. You can name it if you want to. It's a place where you can go anytime to encourage this security and comfort. Breathe in and breathe out and be in this place, in this inner resource place. You might notice how you feel when you're in your inner resource? So there's a reaction in your body. How does this feel in your body when you're in your inner resource? For me, it feels like a lightning. My I get a little bit softer, and my I feel just more me, more relaxed. Some people describe it as like a warm feeling or like a cooling feeling. You have a reaction in your body to being in a particular place. You might notice lessening of tension in your jaw or your forehead. Just observe the reactions of your body. And you can keep experiencing the inner resource as long as you want to. You could turn this practice into your meditation practice, or you could take a nap, or you can do anything you like. But if you're ready, you can start to bring your awareness back to your physical body. You can wiggle your fingers and through your shoulders and through your toes and start to be more aware of your physical body and the physical place that you're in. If you're lying down, you can roll over onto one side, pause there, gradually using your arms and your legs to bring yourself up to seated position. Wrap your hands together and pull your thumbs toward your sternum, tucking your elbows in at your side. This is a way to place your hands that for me evokes an emotion and also just shows me kind of like gives me a little ritual to end class with. You can do this or not if you want to. And consider your practice, all the things that you just did, and ask yourself if there's anything that you want to keep with you for the rest of the day. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Ask yourself if there's anything that you want to work on, um, and offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time to practice because it can be really challenging in our lives to find the energy and the drive and the time to practice. It takes commitment and offer yourself gratitude for doing that. It's great. Take a soft breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And we'll do one more together. Inhale and exhale. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for practicing with me. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope you come back again to class. There's lots of different ways to connect with our classes. We're on PBS. We have our YouTube channel. You can do these live stream classes. We have in-person classes, and hope to see you again soon. My name's Susan, and I'll see you then. Take care.